Well, good day and welcome to the day after. For July the 5th, we've got a very important webinar on this evening. We'll be sharing with our new folks, maybe that have not yet joined with you, or people that have just joined with you, but they don't really know what the heck is going on. So you want to make sure that they are registered for our webinars. And then we're also going to talk about our perspective on July 4th. With the demographic surveys. We'll talk a little bit about that in this brief video, but we'll expound upon that on our webinar on tonight. Now, you know by now, if you've attended any of our trainings, we like to start each of our trainings off with something that's nice and picturesque. And I tell you what, before we get into the meat of what we're going to cover on tonight's webinar, I want to just congratulate a few of our stars. Now, I know we've got a lot of people that are now following us and aren't necessarily on our team, and we welcome you as a part of our following. You stay put, meaning you stay with the person that enrolled you and on the team that enrolled you. We understand the laws of the universe, and for us to get, we've got to give. So if you find value in our style, our training, you feel free to tag along, you and your teammates. Now, what I want to do is from time to time is just kind of highlight some of our teammates, folks that I know that are in my 10 levels that are just doing a stupendous job. I may not be able to pronounce everybody's name just right. So you see my friend there with 62 personals, don't want to mess up your name. And my friend there with 58 personals, don't want to mess up your name. Dina with 47 personals. My very dear buddy, Carrie with 44 personals. Now, Cobus here, it's got 33 personals, but I've got to tell you, one of the best looking organizations that you will see. Of the 33 personals, I think 14 or 15 of their personals already have double digits. So, you know, of the 33, like 14 folks have 10 plus personals. And then as I drilled down, I just saw just amazing organization taking place. We saw on just one level, I think it was my 5th level, 1,222 people come in on the 5th level in less than 24 hours. Just amazing what's going on there. So again, just want to highlight some of our stars, and there's a lot more. And listen, if you haven't personally enrolled 62 or 58 or 47 or 44 or 33, you know, if you've just enrolled 3 or just enrolled 1, or you yourself, you haven't enrolled anyone, but you're committed to viewing 10 hours a week once we start to view. You know, we're never going to treat any of you like a second-class citizen if you're not a big recruiter like some of the others. But if you will follow us, and if you will start to implement the things that we'll be sharing, particularly the things that we share on our Thursday night webinars, there's no reason in time why you should not be a strong personal recruiter, because you reinvest, recap back into your business, and then really start to build out a team. Like I tell you, Cobus's team, when I saw that, I was like, my gosh, Cobus needs to be doing our webinars. Okay. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work real quickly. All right, so give me a moment. All right, one of the things we want to make sure that you're doing is that you're coming back into your message center. Now, everyone needs to take the survey. Everyone needs to take the survey, and you can see here, I've already done mine. Everyone needs to take the survey. 1, 2, get all of your folks, get all of your teammates taking the survey. There's been over 400,000 folks that have registered with THW Global, but that won't mean a hill of beans if we don't get those folks that have registered to filling out their demographic surveys. You also want to make sure that you make a note of coming back in your message center on a daily basis. On the 4th, the company put out 3. I'm sorry, that was a referral. But the company put out a couple of posts on the 4th. Now, we'll go through some of the highlights of these on our webinar. Matter of fact, I think I pulled one up already. Give me just a moment. Okay. Let's see. Bear with me. Yep. This talked about the demographics. This talked about the importance of filling out the surveys. Now remember, to be considered an active international viewer, you have to fill out the demographic/interest survey. That is what then allows THW Global to group people based on their interests so that they can present to the advertisers. What we don't want to have, and I know that some people were expecting to actually start viewing advertising on July 4th, and that would have been nice. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. As a matter of fact, I'm glad that they were able to get off without a hitch and move into this second phase. We're going to talk a lot more about this on the webinar, so make sure you're on the webinar about the second phase. There was the pre-launch phase. Now we're in the soft launch phase. When do we start viewing? Don't quite know. I do know that we need to have people filling out their surveys so that they can get the demographics. I mean, just think this through, okay? They're going to want to put their best foot forward. So they don't want to go to an advertiser. Now, they already have, according to their material, at least 100 advertisers, maybe even more. And some of those advertisers willing to spend as much as $1 million in advertising. Well, listen, what they're going to want to make sure, and I've been an owner of a network marketing company, certainly not on this scale. All right, but if I were the owner of the company, all right, which obviously I'm not, I'm one of you, but if I was the owner of the company, I'd want to make sure that that first advertising campaign that I did with ABC Company or DEF Company, that they got their information in front of the most laser targeted viewers of the content, and that they got the biggest bang for the buck. Because while this company may be committed to $1 million advertising campaign, I want them to do 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. So here's going to be the word of the day: patience. I don't know when we will start viewing the ads, but here's going to be the word of the day: patience. If you go through their information, the fact that we had demographics, all right, I love that. That tells me that there could be some legs to this thing. We've been asking the question: is it crap? Is it gold? Initially, because we weren't sure if it was a scam or not. I'm removed. I'm so far removed from the scam part. Now it's just a part of execution, all right. But part of that execution is to make sure that they have demographics so that the viewers, you and I, are targeted viewers, so that we're seeing commercials and we're seeing promotional content that are related to our interests, so that we're more apt to want to do business with the advertiser. All right. Again, so think that through. You've got an advertiser, $1 million, let's say, that they're willing to commit. Don't you want that advertiser to see some returns on that ad spend? And the way to do that is to make sure that you've got a highly targeted audience, captive audience, looking at your content. So make sure that you go and fill out the survey if you haven't done so, okay? And that you get that message out to your following and get your message out to your team. We'll talk more about this on our webinar on tonight, as well as we'll be presenting for your new guests as well. Let's make sure that all of your folks, and again, we saw a huge surge in webinar registrants over the past couple of days. And I'm sure not all of those folks are on our team. So that's great. That's fantastic. Make sure that your teammates, as a part of the process, that they're registering for our webinar series, thwglobalwebinar.com. On Tuesday nights is our presentation night. For the most part, we have designed that to share the THW Global message from our perspective. And our perspective is a little bit deeper perspective than just sending a bunch of stuff out on Facebook and what have you. Nothing wrong with that in its right measure. Don't go and spam. Don't go into groups, for instance, and just start spamming. That's just not the way you do business, okay? But if THW Global is gold, she's going to be a catalyst for helping us to help you build a 6, perhaps even a 7, and maybe even an 8. Yeah, I said it. Maybe even an 8-figure income. Tuesday night, presentation night, but we are going to cover a couple of the communications that came from THW Global on the 4th and frame the expectations as I see them. Okay, and I'm not corporate, but just what I perceive based on what I read. Then on Thursday nights is our training night. Thursday night is our training night so that we can help you ultimately scale your business from not just viewing income, but from viewing income into ultimately a 6 or 7-figure, and yeah, I said it, maybe even 8-figure enterprise. So make sure that you're on the webinar tonight. Make sure your teammates are on the webinar tonight. You need to get there 15, 20 minutes early so that you grab a spot. Okay, you've got to get there 15, 20 minutes early. If you can't make the webinar, make sure you're part of the list. So when we send out a webinar replay, that you are on the list to get that replay. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have an awesome day. Just phenomenal growth. One level over 1,222 folks in about a 24-hour period. That was just absolutely amazing, just from one level. That's beautiful. Beautiful, guys. You guys and guyettes are doing a masterful job. Congratulations. We will see you on tonight's webinar.